Hi, I'm Brian. Welcome to my hobby space. Today I'm going to show you how I make my icy bases. I'm going to show you two examples, one with a set that are not primed and one with a set that are primed. Today we're going to be using UV curing resin, and it's sometimes kind of hard to push around on the bases. So I'm going to stick them down to this kind of firm base, and that'll allow me to put them outside in the sunshine later to get some UV. There's three colors that I normally use: MSP Bones, Oceanic Blue, MSP Bones Turf Green, and Citadel's Nylock Oxide. These three colors are what I like to use for the watercolor that's frozen underneath the ice. But you can use any colors you like. I add some lime and medium just because I'm going to be doing so many bases today. So I want this stuff to go for a while, I want it to last. I'll thin it down a little. You can just use water if you want, that'll work just fine. Add a dab of green, and I'm going to add a dab of blue. Okay, I forgot, my blue doesn't like to come out. One time I forgot I had that uncapped and I went to shake it and blue paint went everywhere. I almost got it all over my stone horn that I just finished painting. Luckily, I missed. I might have to add some more blue. Okay, that's blue enough. We're just going to dab some blue on here. My personal preference is doing it on these black bases that are not painted, more than doing it on the prime bases. It gives it a darker icy color. But I kind of usually want icy cold dark blue colors, so that's why I like it on the black a little better. You don't want to get total coverage, we just want mostly coverage. Okay, I need some more blue. Okay, now that's some blue. Let the green and the blue mix together just right on the base is what I do. Just gonna dabber, dabber doer. You can dab, you can pull, do whatever kind of shapes you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not looking for total coverage here. We're just looking for the hint of blue color. And water is not generally a uniform color. Sometimes you can see deeper colors, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's murky, sometimes it's not. So feel free to just kind of splurch it on here. The black one's better because if you don't get everything, the black just looks like deeper parts of water. With the white bases, you have to do more coverage. Okay, just kind of tapping it on sideways now. Use whatever part of the brush. Try some different things. Tap straight down, try sideways. Don't tap straight down with really good brushes. You know, try different stuff, see what works. You can let your base colors dry or not. If you don't, that'll work, but you might need to wipe this off before you're going back to the Nylock Oxide, otherwise you could dirty up your pot. This Nylock Oxide underneath the resin really looks great. Again, I'm just splotching around there. Splotchity blotchity. Just make sure they're not obviously splotches. Smooth them out a little. It's really simple. It's really fun. It shows up a lot less on the white bases. If you're going for some sort of crystal clear warm water effect, this might work really well. The blue, the green, and the Nylock on a white base. But for ice, I think the black really just works better. All I know is that one and that one. I mean, that's a world of difference. And I've done the exact same thing for each one. But let's see how it looks after we've got it all UV'd up. For tools, I just got some cheap dollar store resin crafting tools. These are just to stir the resin around when it's on here. Dollar store resin, and you need the clear kind. And then it's just a matter of spraying it onto your base. If you're worried about resin and touching your skin, you could wear gloves. Might be a good idea. I got this tool for that purpose, so I'm not too worried about touching it my skin. Kind of spread it around the base. You can get it right up to the edge and it won't usually go over, so don't worry about that. You just kind of spread it around. I forget how many bases I can get with one bottle. I think this one 5-gram bottle gets me 2 Morn Fang Pack bases. So if you're doing smaller bases, a little 5-gram thing will get you probably more. You don't need a super thick gob of it on here, but you do want it completely coated. It will settle and make itself smooth on its own. So give it a few minutes before you go put it in the sunlight so that it can settle and make a nice smooth surface. Some people might want to fill this little thing in the center before they start the painting. I'm just going to make sure that my model or some snow covers that part, so I'm not too worried. The first one, I just kind of randomly put the resin on, but do it carefully. It might be easier to spread. This UV resin stuff it's pretty easy to use. You can probably find it in a dollar store or in a craft store, or I found this one in the jewelry, like the women's, like make your own jewelry section at the crafting area. It's settling itself down. Those bright spots are going away. That's because it's leveling itself out. I'm going to leave the UV curing resin bases out in the sunshine for about 15 minutes. Just read the packaging for your UV resin. Some of them will say it takes 5 minutes. Some will say it takes 15 or more. Now for the fun part. What we're going to do is scratch up this UV resin. You can use some sandpaper to scratch it up, or you can use files. You could use a razor. I like to use these Army Painter files, which, when it comes down to it, are not very good files. I bought these thinking I'd get all my miniatures nice and smooth. This thing is really super coarse. There's no way I'm going to use it on a miniature. But now, I figured out I can use it to make cool scratches on my icy bases. So, I like them again. It's a good file. You just kind of scratch it. You can pull. You can use the corner and kind of gouge. Just do random stuff. Get some random scratches. Then use the sides and just kind of do some pulls. Just kind of go all over it. What we really want to do is add some layers by scratching up the top of this UV resin and then having the paint colors hidden underneath. It really adds depth to the base. So if you get bubbles and stuff stuck in your UV resin, don't worry about it because they'll add to the texture too. So that's what it looks like just using my file here. The scratches are a little bit less prominent on the ones that have been primed, but they're still visible. You can scratch them up as much or as little as you like. Next, I'm going to put some snow on them. What I like to use is starch, water, cup to mix stuff in, some regular white glue, and I like to add some white paint. So first, let's put in some starch. Teaspoon here. Yeah, I'm going to put 2 teaspoons. Hey. Now I'm going to put in, I've got 1 tablespoon of water. Just going to stir it up. I need some glue. This is still way too watery. I should have put in less water, I guess. While it's still water, I'm going to put in my white. Again, it's like a little bubble there. Like my white bottle's caught a cold or something. Alright, white, what's up with you? You don't need a lot of paint. Since it's still too watery, let's add another hopping teaspoon of, you want it to be kind of thick, but not so thick that you can't spread it. So just, it's still a little bit too watery for me. Drizzle it on. If it's thicker, it'd be easier to apply, and you can spread it around. And when it hardens, it'll harden white, kind of like a packed down snow. There you go. You know what, I'm going to add a little bit more starch, just so I can show you what it looks like if you get thicker. Oh, hobby stations, they're always messy. There's a certain thickness to it. Thick. And that's kind of what you're looking for. And you can spread it out as you like. Kind of looks like a nice little river or something. Again, I would recommend getting your miniatures ready before you do this, so then you could kind of maybe glue them down at the same time as you do this, and it kind of immerses them into this icy world. Well, I made way too much. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can store this and use it like the next day or anything like that. If you did want to try it, maybe put it in the refrigerator or something. Okay. So that's a really easy way to get snow on top of your ice. Once you've got the snow on here like this, let it sit for 24 hours to dry, and then you can put your miniatures on. Or if you have one, you can put your miniatures on there while it's still wet and then glue them down at the same time. If you got any comments or questions, please put them down below. I love getting them and I always read them. That's all for today. I hope you liked that video, and I hope it helps you out make icy, snowy bases. Stay safe, keep enjoying the hobby, and I'll see you next time.